Just do. We must just do. Oh, psych yourself up. We're doing the letter. I don't... yeah. Alright, let's go. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the letter. I have had something stuck in my eye for 3 days. 3 days. Where were we? Didn't we leave it off in the apartment on the 1st? Yeah, we did. Anyway, yeah, something stuck in my eye for 3 days. I got eye wash. I'm too afraid to use it because sticking thing in the eye is kind of scary. Though it's too personal to share a meal in their home, it would be terribly rude to deny their invitation. They invited us for breakfast? Oh my god. Oh right, we had sex with her husband. Okay. That didn't scare me. If you thought that scared me, you're just silly. Besides, the pancakes did look and smell heavenly. A bowl of clotted cream. Okay, syrups, jams, and other spreads are laid out next to them, making a colorful arrangement. If this was a brunch with friends, I would have gladly helped myself to a whole lot. But as it is, I accepted just a few pieces of pancake and topped it off with a lemon and sugar. A lemon?
You know, I was a tiny bit serious when I said I wanted a helipad.
Okay.
And you're not serious about the greenhouse, the vineyard, and the stables?
But the helipad, dead damn serious.
Well, I do want those too, but I know you'll agree to those.
We're talking about interiors here, honey. You don't handle exterior designs and whatever handles those sorts of projects do you, Marianne?
I'm able, actually, and willing to take a project of that nature. I was an architect in Ireland before. Of course, that's another contract entirely. I also suggest we finish the house itself before working on any additions to the rest of the property. There won't be any problems about ownership this time, will there?
I'm cold.
Pardon if I'm crossing a line, but the acquisition was rather quick.
Oh, don't you worry. We've got everything sorted this time around. I've talked to Miss Cooper and Mr. John from BRC. Oh, as well as the old owners.
The old owners are like, fucking take it!
Everything has been
What
paid
the
in
shit?
full, and all we're waiting for is the paperwork from the land registry. They're letting us move in as soon as we please.
As soon as please.
It's not like they were living there in the first place.
True.
That's good to hear. The problems that could arise from renovating another person's home would be... well, let's not dwell on it.
That's why we buy it first.
First off, we'll want to know how you want the place to look. It's pretty furnished as is, but I understand if you want to modernize the whole thing.
Actually, I'd prefer to keep the place looking as it is, but at the same time, I want modern appliances.
I can only imagine if I bought a house what it would fucking look like. My studio, one wall is orange, one is blue. And I got fucking Five Nights at Freddy's decorations up here. Got a Zelda thing. I got twinkly lights. I got a singing fish. Let me decorate a house, because I will do you justice.
You worked on the Ludgate's Christchurch summer residence. I do remember there being an oven I thought was a simple drawer before.
Sniffle.
Make them look vintage, antique, blend in with the rest of the decor.
And then you just don't know where the oven is.
Customize appliances then.
You do
I
not
can
want to
find someone for that,
camouflage.
and if you can tell me what you
camouflage.
specifically want, it'll hasten up the process.
You really do not want to camouflage a thing that gets really hot. Because you're like, what's that burning smell? I don't know. Take it out of the oven. I don't know where it is. You're opening every drawer and it's just stuff. Just can't find the oven, man.
We're talking about
And by the time we
electronic
do, it's all
appliance
over.
manufacturers. If you have a preferred brand to work with.
Splendid! So, what is next on our agenda? All the other interior designers we've hired in the past did not have us this involved.
I stop. What sort of half-baked designer did that? If I knew who they were, I would have words. This isn't a time or place for it, however. Instead, I used the brief pause to pull out the floor plans I brought with
We'll
me.
have to figure out what you want to do with the rooms. Here, we can have a quick run through.
We look at the floor plans, just a ghost. A drawing of the ghost girl, like, sup, bitch.
What is that little room next to the master's bedroom?
Wait, I'll do it. Okay, okay, that's the basement. Where was the place? Aha, here we go. Alright, I'll draw us a little ghost girl. That's fine. There we go. She's haunting the floor plans now.
Oh, as far as I could tell when I saw it, it's a second bedroom of sorts. Used, apparently, for the ladies in waiting who has served Lady Charlotte Ermengarde. Which is strange, as that isn't the norm for these sorts of
I'm
houses.
sorry, there are extra bedrooms for the ladies in waiting? That's hilarious. I'm just looking at the floor plan real quick because I'm interested. Quarters, which I assume is a bedroom. Basement, garden. I don't know who the fuck needs a gallery. I don't know what that says. Bedroom, a conference room, a theater for God's sakes, a study room. Oh, God bless. And, of course, we have our girl there.
Well, we're not stuffing Johans in there. He won't fit. You don't suppose we could turn it into a walk-in closet and a dressing room?
He won't fit.
I love fashion. But do we really need to turn an entire room into a walk-in closet, dear? We'll have large closets and a wardrobe in the bedroom already.
Says the one who takes 3/5 of our closet.
Cry harder.
Well, what do you suggest we do with it?
I thought a utility room of some sort would be nice. A craft room where I can do fun things.
You have an entire house to do fun things.
Or maybe a children's room might be nice. You know, for when Kylie comes over. Or if Rochelle visits once she's had a baby.
But you just said Johans couldn't fit in it. How would a baby and a mother fit in it?
1, you are not inviting that witch.
Whoa!
And 2, there's a whole mansion for Kylie to play in.
Wow.
We don't need a children's room, and you don't even do arts and crafts.
Maybe that's because I don't have... I was trying to make a joke, then I realized what he said. Never mind.
I'd like to turn the guest's room and the study into my personal office, by the way, if you don't mind.
Okay, but there's a personal office right here. Why would you need to turn a guest room into one too?
You can turn it into a personal office if I can have my utility room. It's just the one room of the many. I'm taking that room for myself, no matter what you say, dearie. So you might as well take this deal. You're always out doing business anyway. The real problem is the theater. Whatever are we going to do with all that space?
What are you gonna do with all this space?
Fine, we could turn it into our own personal cinema, I suppose. Might as well have it, if you plan on not having a telly in the parlor.
Yeah, just make it like a computer, TV, gaming room.
Yes, well, I don't want guests to be glued to the telly when they come over for a meal and some tea.
Then turn it off.
By the
Hide
looks of
remote.
things, we can keep the rooms as what they are on the ground floor, though. The ballroom would be perfect for parties.
Ballroom is so fucking big, man.
Do we really need a dining hall, though? I don't suppose we can't convert it into a garage.
Garage? No.
What for? You can park your cars outside.
What about that room? Right there, in the northeast corner.
North. East.
That's sleeping quarters for the household help?
This one? Or wait. Wait, did I just totally get west and east wrong? I apologize so
Oh,
much.
that is perfect. Johans will be glad if we have other staff members who stayed in.
No, never eat soggy waffles. I got it right.
It'd be convenient, so they don't have to make the trip from Luxbourne to the mansion when they're needed.
I think. I did.
You'll
get it.
definitely need a lot more people to maintain a property of this size.
The mansion is really a lot bigger than I thought. Look at all these rooms. I didn't even know there was a music room next to the parlor because
There
of what
is?
happened.
Where? There? I can't see shit. Oh, there. Completely blind.
There was a grand piano in there too, when we checked during the tour.
Did you hear that, Luke? Maybe you can take up playing the piano again.
Please no. More like crush his head under
Oh,
it.
you should have seen him when we were younger, Marianne.
I don't want to.
It's not like I was very good with the thing.
Oh god, Ghost Girl is still there. How do I make it go away? There we go.
Oh, hush you. You were no Mozart, but I loved hearing you play nonetheless. He'd come over to my home and he'd play such fun tunes. He'd sing too and I'd dance and it was just...
You're not 70, calm down. Mr. Wright playing the piano, I can't imagine it. But the earnest way in which Mrs. Wright said so told otherwise.
Anyway, what do you think of these plans, Marianne?
Fantastic, wonderful, do it.
Are we not even going to consider one of my requests? Not even just a closet or just a garage?
Stop saying it like
Now, that isn't fair, is it? You're not the only one who's going to be living here.
I hardly see how that's unfair. I told you you're getting your office and your theater, the greenhouse, the vineyard, and the stables. That sounds fair, does it not, Marianne?
Don't look at me, please! Oh no. Fuck you, Luke. It sounds fair. Mrs. Wright was her points. Mrs. Wright has her points, there we go. But I really didn't want to butt into the spat of a husband and wife. Hello? Get fucked, Luke. But with the way the two were looking at me to settle this, I might as well just keep the facts instead of giving my opinion.
Mr. Wright, your plan isn't quite feasible from an architectural perspective. I'm not even sure how much we can do without closer inspection. Well, the one about the garage, at least. A walk-in closet is easy enough, but the garage?
I think that was a really weird place for a garage.
See, a
Like,
garage
smack
isn't
dab in the middle of the
architecturally feasible, and it isn't going to be financially sound as well. We're already going to spend a lot on your other requests. You have several acres of land to park on already.
What? Did you calculate that on the fly?
Look at it! You have a fucking city to
Don't
yourself.
actually sound my foot. You're probably just thinking up of imaginary numbers.
Might I remind you that I was a financial manager? I also looked over and approved the expenses of our other houses. I know the rough costs of these things by now, love. Masters in business administration, major in accounting. Sometimes I think you forget that I'm not as dumb as I act.
That's what I like about her. She's so smart. That catches my attention more than anything. It sounds more unbelievable than Whiskey playing the piano. She really didn't seem like that
Business
type.
administration and accounting? What university?
Luxborn U, of course. Go Lux Dragons, red and gold.
Fuck yeah, red and gold.
Excuse me? How about we move on this chit-chat ahead and do whatever else needs to be done sometime today? I had to cancel my appointments for this, you know. We might as well do a proper inspection with the designer this time, just to get it out of the way.
Look how happy she is. Like, she's so happy that we asked.
Yes, no time like the present. You want a thorough inspection? Might as well do it now. We actually took another look at the property yesterday, though it was brief. But I'm sure you would want to see it yourself, to spot anything we might have missed.
It's not like I have that much of a choice, do I? I get scared every time something changes in this game. I get absolutely fucking terrified. Oh, beep beep to yourself. Hold on, I'm turning the volume down. Riding to the Ermengar mansion in their rice is an awkward affair. What the fuck is a rice? I wanna look up what a rice is, to be honest with you. Not only am I worried about scuffing the— oh shit, you know what? I just realized something. I am so sorry. I realized that if I have my phone near my microphone, it starts buzzing. So if you heard buzzing, I am so sorry. It's gone now, or it should be. Get out of here, phone. You're a horrible distraction. Not only am I worried about scuffing the expense for leather seats, but I'm also worried about getting in the middle of another couple's spat. You are a couple's spat, because you are just right in there, girl. With the tension thick in the air, I can feel them staring at each other starting at each other any time. Jeez. Nobody is saying anything, up until Mr. Wright tells his valet to turn off the damn radio. And for a moment I think that he might start, but instead he just stays quiet, and so do the rest of us. In the end, the sufferable silence stays. Wonderful. I've never been so glad to see a house. You're gonna take that back so quickly, it's ridiculous. Stepping out of the car and up to the mansion meant the end of an uncomfortable ride, and I can finally take a deep breath of fresh air. The beauty of the place never fails to make me gaze in wonder every time I see it as well. Mrs. Wright moves towards the front door, keys in hand, and I already hear Mr. Wright plotting.
Alright, Hans, we're going to go in, but I want you to look around the place. Familiarize yourself with it. Know every nook and cranny, every inch of the lot. Go and see where we can put that vineyard and the other things we talked about. We'll want to know where to station security as well, so go around the perimeter and figure it out.
Scouts the property and circle the perimeter on foot. You do know this is 46 acres of land, sir.
Well, you are not driving a car over the grass.
Better put on your Heelys, boy.
Put those long, spidery legs of yours to good use. I didn't hire you to stand around and look intimidating. Go, mush.
Wow. Someday I'd like to ask how Johans can even stand to tolerate that man. Why doesn't he just quit? Certainly the pay can't be that good. Even if I'm a bit put off by our mutual employer, and the only thing that keeps me from bailing is the fact that we've actually signed a contract, at least I'll only be working with them during the duration of the project. He works with them every day.
Sometimes I think you hired me to make me suffer for your amusement.
Sometimes. You are the redhead. Someday, I'd ask. I feel a bit bad for him. If at any consolation, he'll be away from Mr. Wright, if only for a little while. I don't want to be in here! Like it in here. It makes me uncomfortable. We're able to enter the mansion after a bit of standing out there in the sun. This wretched, strange sunlight that is far too alien and rare. Oh, right, because we're in that place where it rains a lot. There had been a bit of a problem with the Mrs. not knowing which key was which. The first item on the agenda would be the grand staircase. It seems sturdy during the open house, but a closer inspection might say otherwise. There are no obvious marks of damage nor wear and tear, probably rethreaded during renovations. Peeking under the grand carpet, the wood is probably installed with the bark placed down to prevent cupping. She talks like I know what it means. The carpet itself could use a vacuum, though. Structural conditions, from what I can see without actually dismantling the thing, got a hair in my mouth, looking to be in good shape, and the handrails and support posts are firm. The work on it should be it should be praised. Sometimes a word just won't come out, man. I don't know why. I can't look much more into the rest of the foyer, however, because Mrs. Wright starts to hurry us into checking the dining hall.
So, what do you think?
The thing you want to turn in a
Certainly we can't turn
garage.
this area into a garage.
Just drive your car right through it.
It's Jacobean architecture. I'd say these would be pilasters and not buttresses, but you never really know. They really liked mixing up these elements. You could say it was pretty avant-garde at the time. We might hit a support beam if we're not careful.
And in layman's terms?
From what I see here, we could risk great damage to the house if we try to turn the dining hall into a garage.
Oh, sad boy. The man didn't look too pleased at this. There's a look of disappointment before he sighs and looks around the place with an air of defeat. When he moves to speak, I dread another unreasonable demand again.
This will stay a dining hall then. But if I may have another request instead, at least spruce the place up with some flowers, some plants or something. It feels so old and dead in here.
That's hardly unreasonable. Daffodils are a must, I presume.
He loves his daffodils. The look that passes between the two of them, there's a genuine look of fondness there. Oh, kid. This is the first time I've seen such an exchange between the two of them. If anyone are to see them like this, there's a little doubt that they loved each other. Do they?
Of course, and I want a garden full of them. Now, if you excuse me, I'd like to look at the rest of the house. I'll just be around here downstairs, if anybody needs me.
Nobody needs you. That leaves Mrs. Wright and
He's quite fond of them, you know.
I can imagine. He looked terribly upset when we told him he can't have his garage.
I meant the daffodils. We always have a vase full of them in every house we own. Somewhere. I'd like to think. They may be about his mother.
Don't do that.
He never talks about her.
Don't do
I
that.
don't even know her name.
I don't want to do this. We have to hate Luke. He's a bastard. Don't tell me about his probably dead mother.
He likes to flatter, claim that they remind him of me, but he's always loved the flowers, even before we married.
I don't want to talk about this. Much like the piano, I didn't take him for the person who liked flowers. Daffodils, least of all. What's next? Am I going to find out that Mr. Wright saves kittens from burning buildings?
I'll go and snoop about upstairs.
Don't leave me alone. If you leave me alone, don't leave me alone. You're telling the game it's okay to leave me alone.
You go and do whatever it is that you have to do.
Don't leave me alone. Don't leave me alone. When she goes without even asking if I need her here, I'm left standing to stare at the walls. Great! Really, I don't need to do a thorough inspection of the building itself. It isn't really part of the interior design's job. But the architect in me is committed to doing this task with every project. If I'm going to make a living space that have both form and function, I might as well make sure that The entirety of it safe is for my of it is safe for my clients. Since I'm already here, I roam around the dining hall to check things off my punch list, if you will. Checklist? Huh? But when it's time to move on, I hesitate. I hesitate too! I am taking my headphones off. I'll set them right next to me. Right there. There you go, headphones. They're fine right there. And I might just have to break out the singing fish, because I am worried. Mr. Wright said he would be somewhere around here on the ground floor, and I really didn't want to be alone with whiskey. I have to look through the place eventually, sure, but on the other hand, I can do it later when he's gone. I have to go upstairs first, if I want to. Why do I self-sabotage? Check the ground floor. Self-sabotaging. Alright, just because there's one troublesome client shouldn't mean I'll let him get in the way of my work. The parlor's my first destination, mostly because I figure Mr. Wright is hiding down in the wine cellar and making plans there. I'm going to bump into him sooner or later, but I'd rather make it later. Much, much later. The place, upon closer inspection, is in good shape. I don't doubt this place was done with the most care, considering it would be one of the first rooms visitors would see during the open house. There's a station on the carpet, most likely by one of the... Stain on the carpet. Most likely one of the guests at the time, but it isn't anything a good cleaning can't get rid of. Next is the music room. Or at least that's the plan.
Locked? Oh, come on now.
I rattle the doorknob again, harder this time, to double check and even give it a good budge to see if it isn't a problem with the door itself. But no, it's definitely locked. That is weird considering the rest of the rooms aren't. It could be just this one, though, and I try the other door through the ballroom if I really want to get in. I have my headphones on my head, but they're behind my ears, and all of a sudden I just hear this boom of the piano. I'm just like, there's your cue. That's my cue, taking the headphones off my head. Yup, that's when I hear it. The sound of a piano. I can hear it still, and it's bothering me, though it just plays one note over and over again. It makes the hairs on the back of my neck stand, and I back away from the door. Though I wasn't exactly the superstitious sort. What am I going to do? The room is locked. I can't just go back to it. I can just go back to it later. Maybe see if I can get through the ballroom and... Oh, it's him. I'm sorry. I, covered the screen because she cut off, and I'm like, hit me with it, I'm ready. I don't like that he's showing up with slightly creepy music, so I'm going to take my headphones back off my ears. The music room door opens, and who else but Luke Wright stands by the doorway. Now we wonder, is it the ghost, shape-shifting into our worst nightmare? He looks a lot like a cat that ate a canary. I didn't appreciate the way his eyes linger on me.
Isn't it common sense the locked doors mean someone wants a bit of privacy? You didn't try and break the door down.
Shut up!
Or did you just want to see me again that badly without the missives?
What the fuck is wrong with you?
I'm still up for a shag if that's what you're after. Pretty sure the wine cellar is soundproof if you fancy a snog and a poke.
You are a disgusting little man.
I'm here on business, Mr. Wright. Nothing more, nothing less. Now, if you can let me pass, I need to inspect the music room as well.
I'm not looking for trouble, but trouble always seems to find me anyway. He leans against the door frame, crosses his arms, and plasters a huge grin on his face. Smack it! The way he looked at me promises nothing good. But really, how big of a scumbag can one person be?
Oh, sure, you're some fancy interior designer. But mix in some booze and you really loosen up, don't you?
Oh, phone, please. Ugh.
Working woman by day, working girl by night.
The fuck does that mean?
I'm not. I'm no such thing. Don't you fucking dare continue down that line of thought. I'm not what you suggest I am. I am not some whore you can just leer at and proposition. If anybody here is morally reprehensible, it's you cheating on your wife. And if you don't stop this harassment, I'll...
Tell the wife? Good luck with that.
Excuse me?
You're terribly confident for a lecherous cheat.
Do you honestly think you're the first woman that threatens to go running to her claiming something or another about me? You think you're some special snowflake and that you're the first woman that I've slept with?
What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Have to remind myself that I would get nothing out of hitting him. Nothing but satisfaction, at least.
Tell her. But who will she believe? Her darling husband? Or the hired help? Oh, Buttercup. She's probably trying to make us pay up, or she'll create a scandal. Stay quiet, you can go on with your life with no trouble.
You're a horrible human being.
And if I talk, even if your wife doesn't believe me, I can get people talking. What then?
Oh, people gossip all the time. It's hardly anything new. But still, if you talk, I will.
Oh my
ruin
god!
you.
Oh my god! I can't handle this! The way he says it, promises it, makes my blood run cold.
Now, why don't you run along and do whatever silly job you have to do?
Oh my god.
I'll just be here in the music room if you change your mind about a shag.
Oh my god. Fucking asshole!
Scum of the earth he is. How could you just let him talk to you like that?
Is that the voices in my head? Was that the voice in my head? What was that? Was it my conscience? So forget about going into the music room then. That's fine. I'll have to go out there go out there sooner or later. In the meantime, I can go around and check the rest of the house. Oh my god! Wow. Whoa. I've never wanted to actually kill a character before in my life. The worst part is I don't think you can kill Luke in this game. I don't know. Can he die? Or does the game not give you that kind of satisfaction? Oh, this makes me want to cry so bad. Anyway, I will see you all in the next episode. I can't handle any more of Luke's face. It's driving me absolutely insane. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.